Hello. Hey. Yeah, there's sound. For sync. All right, Ian.
Hi.
If that's your real name.
No, I'm afraid it is.
Good morning. Right now I'm on the docks in Bukken on my way to cross with the ferry over to over the pond to Stavanger, because I'm going to meet up with a fellow photographer, the brilliant Ian Smith, who lives in Sweden, and we're going to go to Preikestolen together. Preikestolen, or the Pulpit rock as it's called in English. So I'm really looking forward to that, but I'm a bit tired, I have to admit. I got up at maybe 5:15 today, and right now the clock is around 6:30, waiting for the ferry. Yes, another ferry. It's one of those trips where you have to take a few ferries to reach your destination. But I was thinking, while I wait for the ferry, I could talk a bit about me and Ian's destination today. The Pulpit rock, Preikestolen, or in the old tongue, Tonna, which is basically translated to the planed tooth. And it's kind of a plateau which is 25 times 25 meters wide. It's a really popular tourist attraction in Ryfylke in Rogaland in Norway. And I've been there once, but I was a small child, so I don't remember too much about the hike itself, but I remember the Pulpit rock, and I remember the destination because it's quite striking. And a little fun fact is that the last scene, or one of the last scenes in the new Mission Impossible movie, can't remember the name of it, was filmed at the Pulpit rock. So it's been in a Hollywood movie. It's located in Ryfylke, and Preikestolen itself is 604 meters above the fjord, Lysefjorden. So it's pretty high down, but the ascent up there is not over 600 meters. I think it's about 350 meters or something. I'm not entirely sure, but the trip itself is about 7.6 kilometers, if I remember correctly, or 8 or 4 kilometers each way, approximately. So we can just make it before it gets dark, because days are getting shorter. All right, I can see the boat coming now, so I think I'm gonna wrap this up. All right, yeah, really looking forward to meet this Ian. I never met him before. We chatted online. He's a fellow photographer. I've been following his work for quite some time, so I'm really looking forward to meet him. He lives in Sweden, as I said. I prepared an interview, like I did when I met Trond a while back, but yeah, I forgot the questions on the living room table, so I've just texted my wife if she could just take a picture of it and send it to me, but I'm not sure if she's woken up just yet.
Tell me a bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm originally from the west of Scotland, a little place called Helensburgh, about 20 miles from Glasgow.
Pretty close to Glencoe. No?
Yeah, about an hour.
About an hour.
We just live close to Loch Lomond, and you drive up Loch Lomond and you're more or less there.
But you don't live there now you moved to Sweden.
Yeah, Sweden. I went to teach tennis in Malta, stayed there for 10 years and then moved to Sweden, and fantastic. Best move we made.
How long have you stayed there?
Nearly 5 years actually. It'll be 5 years coming up in the spring.
We've talked a lot about photography.
Yeah.
And you told me you picked up photography in 2015.
Yeah, when we moved to Sweden, tennis became less important, and I picked up a camera, and I'd been determined to learn properly the manual exposure and not just picking it up and shooting. And it was a great opportunity, and it was just YouTube, picking it up and watching Mike Brown.
As I did as well.
Yeah.
We have that in common.
Yep.
Mr. Brown.
He's guilty of a lot of things.
Yeah, he taught us good.
And it becomes a passion, doesn't it?
It does.
Really quickly, once the bug grabs you, it becomes life-changing.
That is very true. I first saw you on Instagram, and I saw you post a lot of seascape pictures from Skåne,
Yes.
which are really, really nice.
Thanks.
They're beautiful.
No, thank you.
And is that what you prefer to photograph, or do you have a preference or an?
Well, because we live in a fishing village, which is obviously by the sea. Seascapes are what I wake up to every morning, and it's just naturally what I went out to. Photograph seascapes a real lot. But recently, I've been totally loving going into the woodlands.
You've been retreating into the forest.
Yeah. Getting into bear country. Anyway, I don't know what I'm doing when I get there, but I like it.
It's nice with a change as well.
Yeah.
It's
more intimate. It's more trying to pick out things that aren't so obvious, I guess.
And now you're in almost at my domain, the mountains.
I'm totally in your hands here. And to say it's epic is a kind of understatement.
Yeah.
That's a kind of photography word now, I think, epic, isn't it? And it's kind of overused, but Norway.
It's pretty grand.
It's unbelievable.
I'm going to use grand.
Yeah, grand. It is.
Look at this backdrop.
You just can't. Yeah. It's difficult to put into words.
We're almost at Preikestolen now. It's roughly a kilometer left. I had so much fun talking with Ian on the way up here that I totally forgot how far we got, so we're almost there. You can see the lines of the ice just dragging across the mountainside over there, leading inwards the landscape. It's worth an image. And me and Ian, we've been talking a lot about photography up here, talking about what we like, what we aim for, and how we work. It's been really interesting. But for now, he's changing his memory cards, I think.
Yeah, it's full. And I got a new one at the airport, so I've just got to find a way into this now. So, what a beautiful place, though. This is absolutely spectacular today. We've been really lucky with the light and the weather.
Good light, good weather. It was raining when we drove out here.
We came from different directions, but it was still a little bit drizzle.
A little bit of drizzle. But now it's
just fantastic. Cold,
but nice.
that's okay.
Where do you find your inspiration?
Okay, brought up with a tennis background, I'm probably naturally reasonably competitive, and I kind of want to better myself each time, and so that's my inspiration is to improve, and I've gathered this appreciation of the outdoors, like we hear many times from photographers, but it's totally true. I just appreciate being outside and in nature.
It grows on you.
And that is my inspiration. If you can see nature in all the different elements and different lights, fantastic. And you?
My inspiration, I think it's much of what you said. It grows on you. It's a bit the thrill of the hunt, that when you finally get it, what you've seen in your head, or you get something similar or something you didn't envision at all.
Yeah, that's when it gets really exciting.
Yeah. And for me, when I explore new places and I just sit like this with the river, for example, and just sit for an hour and think, and then take the picture. That's
and coming from a musical background, do you see some feeling and synergy between music and photography?
You flipped the interview, haven't you?
Yeah. But it does interest me. So. Do you feel that?
I do, yeah. It's much of the same thing, because it's songwriting is a craft, photography is a craft, it's creative work. And what I've learned as a songwriter, one of the first thing I learned is that if I put nothing of myself in the song, not a single emotion, nothing, it just falls flat. It has nothing to give.
Yes.
You have to put. It can be a small thing. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to pour your whole life on paper for anybody to listen to it. But it needs to have some reflection of you as a person. Otherwise, nobody can relate to it. And I think
photography is like that.
It is like that. It's your eyes. It's the way you see the world.
Yeah.
And if you don't use that gut feeling, like this is what I like, this is what I'm drawn towards, you're not the only one in the world who's drawn to that, and that's when you get people really appreciating.
And it might be when you see a composition, like we've just come from Preikestolen, which has been shot to death a million times, and they haven't shot it necessarily in the same light or conditions or whatever, but mood and feeling can put your own stamp on a frequently shot composition.
And we were really lucky, there were no people there.
Can you believe that?
This is it. This is Preikestolen, the Pulpit rock, or 𝐔𝐤𝐿𝐴. 604 meters above Lysefjorden beneath. And this is one of Norway's most famous tourist attractions, and there's absolutely no people here. Me and Ian, who's down below here, we have the whole place to ourselves. And the sun sets in maybe 2 hours, so we need to start thinking about starting the return hike. But for now, we're just photographing this 25 by 25 meter large plateau, and Lysefjorden just goes inwards with the peaks of light over on the mountain sides there. It's quite simple, very beautiful. I'm trying a few compositions from up here. Mostly I'm trying some panoramas, because if you see here, the whole height of Preikestolen, I feel it's more easily achieved by tilting the camera like this, but then you don't get the width. So by doing a panorama, you can decide how high and how long the image is gonna be. And as you can see now, the camera is a bit tilted downwards, so that might I may get some trouble with the horizon line. But I'm taking a panorama without tilting it as well, so I'll see which works best. But for now, this is
This is just incredible. Have any favorite photographers? Some who you can really relate to, or not necessarily relate to, but a photographer that you appreciate.
Two photographers actually 3 photographers that I talk to and ask advice from. One is Simon Booth, who's another YouTuber. 𝐂𝐚𝐿 from Iceland, and a fellow Scottish photographer, Alistair Ben, who's there are 3 extremely good photographers, and I really respect their work. All of them are quite different. Ollie will tell you that he far prefers travel photography, but when you look at his profile, he's excellent at everything he does. And Simon is very, very meticulous and clever about how he approaches his landscapes, and very interesting. And Alistair's he's everything from vistas to close-up details and abstracts, and he's another excellent photographer. And yourself?
Myself, there are 2 that comes to mind while you were talking.
Okay.
And, I like the work. Have you heard of Edward Weston?
No.
He's a black and white photographer. He did very close-ups of just objects.
Okay.
And he toyed with shapes long before people kind of got into it. So it's kind of macro photography of ordinary things made fantastic. And that's I try often to apply to landscape when you can see something. That's where long lenses come in handy, because you can kind of change perspective completely, and then you can take ordinary objects and make them more unique. But it's not always easy. And the other photographer I really admire is Galen Rowell. He was one of the first adventure photographers.
Okay.
He was a mountaineer, climber.
Okay.
He worked a lot in the 70s. He kind of pioneered the whole adventure style of hiking, running. I'm really bleeding.
You really are, actually.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I have no idea. So how did you think it went today?
First things first. I think every day out in the field is usually a great day. This kind of landscape with somebody such good company and so many interests that cross over from photography to music, which
we've been chatting non-stop
We've
today.
been chatting non-stop, and part of it has been photography, and another part of it's been
music,
life and music and everything, and some business ideas and so on. But it has been an absolutely fantastic day. One I'll never forget, because this is unforgettable, and making a new friend is also really
likewise
unforgettable. It's great.
Thanks for inviting me.
You're very welcome, and thank you for making that journey down.
This calls for a reunion sometimes. It's been a blast, Ian.
It has.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
Tusen takk. Oh yeah. Hey, blood.
And thanks for watching. All right.
Thank you.
See you. How to you.